Sign up today for a 7-day free trial at alerts.chartguys.com. Hey everyone, checking in on the cryptocurrency space, and a surprising day out there where crypto is pretty much the least volatile thing that I am watching, as we have a lot of action in the market overall, but we have the 12-hour equilibrium. The last time we checked in, we were at about this move. Maybe that wasn't the last time. 2 times ago, we saw this bull move and this pullback to here. That was all the information that we needed to say that the most likely scenario is a 12-hour equilibrium. And here we are literally days later continuing to form this equilibrium. So cannot stress enough how valuable learning to get comfortable with equilibriums are and anticipating them, trading within them, and trading their breaks are as traders. Not sure that sentence made sense, but you know what I mean. So it looks like we had a new lower high here at 81.96, and right now the range is 79.66 to 81.96. Patiently waiting for a break. Bulls still giving us the higher lows, still holding exponential support, and the daily time frame still higher lows and exponential support as well. So still holding my position personally, and initially I have my stop under 79.66. I moved it up, but because I'm in a profitable position where worst case I will profit, because I did sell half of my position to lower my cost basis, but I'm going to use the daily higher low, because even if that 12-hour equilibrium breaks bearish, we could still form a daily higher low compared to 76.71, and from there it would transform into a daily equilibrium. So that's my game plan, and I'm glad I'm doing this video because that just changed my game plan by looking at things live in the moment. So 12-hour time frame, break is imminent sometime, I would say, in the next 36 hours or so, keeping in mind that it can take 36 hours because each candle 12 hours long. Excuse me. ETH, same thing, double bottom of support down at 141.83, 142.10, so barely holding on within this pattern, but it is still holding on. Again, same thing, if that 12-hour support is lost, we then have a double top and still are in a daily uptrend with anything above 135.12 as a higher low. So this is where we need to determine, are we using shorter term time frames and keeping tighter levels, or longer term time frames and giving a little bit more wiggle room. ETH BTC, daily lower high looking to be set at 1806, and we're looking down at support of 1696. So bulls would need to hold 1696 and then break that resistance level to then be in a daily uptrend, which is a bare minimum for me to have any interest in these altcoins. LTC, multiple daily inside bars. Zooming in a bit, we can see the 4-hour time frame shifting away, losing some momentum. 12 hours still very much in an uptrend. So 12-hour higher low is not at risk of being lost, and the daily higher low nowhere near being lost. 43.72, anything over that would keep the daily uptrend. LTC BTC has topped out as well, but because of the size of this bull move, we will be looking for a daily higher low here as well. BCH trading sideways, 12-hour time frame, equilibrium forming, a little bit different setup, not as tight as some other names, or I should say it hasn't been forming for as long because this was a clear bull break to higher highs, whereas on Bitcoin, this would have been within the pattern still, rejecting from resistance. So most important short-term support, 258, and short-term resistance is 273. Patiently waiting for direction. And again, we're going to be using all of these coins to be watching for clues as to who breaks first and whether or not that can give us indication of what to anticipate from there. XRP, tightening daily range. So high of the daily bull move, low of the pullback. Lower high looks to be set, not convinced just yet at 219, but almost there. If we break the pattern of a higher low each day, that will be our lower high, and we'll then be looking for the bulls to hold 20 cents as a higher low. So this equilibrium is more longer term and more drawn out, and certainly worth watching, but not the same on the 12-hour time frame as the other setups we just looked at. Binance. So Binance is still in a daily uptrend. What's the 12-hour time frame look like? It's still in an uptrend. We did break resistance here as well, so names that broke to daily higher highs standing out different, stronger than Bitcoin. Binance is one of them, and if we see a bear break, we'll just be looking for a daily higher low to form. So some names nice and comfortable with space for the daily uptrend to remain intact. Link USD finally topping out. It's looking for a daily higher low as well. 210 is where the exponential support is lining up. And as a trader, I very often use the pattern of going against momentum as soon as we lose the pattern of a higher low every candle. And same thing if I'm playing bounces on all time frames, 2-minute time frame, 5-minute daily. And just an example of that, Netflix on the daily time frame recently had a massive bull run up, and we had a higher low every single day for 9 days in a row, 10 days, 11 days. As soon as that broke, it happened at 332, we then dropped down $11, and that was a solid 3-4% bear move, going bearish as soon as the higher low every single day candle pattern breaks. And that was the case for Link here as well. Link had a higher low every single day for the last bunch of days. That broke yesterday at 222, and here we are down at 215, already pulling back a solid 3%. So utilize that in your trading. Patterns of a higher low every candle breaking usually indicates that temporary tops or temporary bottoms have been set. But just looking for a healthy daily higher low, no red flags on the volume. XTZ USD is giving bulls red flags. The inability to break resistance of 140 is notable. We have no daily uptrend, and while everybody else is looking strong on all their setups, XTZ is looking weak, and we only have support at 125 and 122. We have to see the bulls hold these supports and break 140 for us to say that our weekly higher low has now been established. Inside bar last week, inside bar this week, have to break them bullish to be looking for a weekly equilibrium to be the most likely scenario. So that's where we stand overall. Continued tightening ranges. Again, it could be another 24 hours or so before we get a break. And keep an eye on the FTX exchange move contract, which is how some traders like to capitalize on these equilibriums tightening up, because that move contract gains value as soon as you see the trading range expand on Bitcoin, which is something we are expecting in the near term. And we'll have to keep an eye out for a volume spike as well to be associated with that break. And hopefully we get a bull break to further create space for a weekly trend change on a lot of these names, which will still be needed for a confident monthly higher low to be set. So we'll check back in the near term future, likely seeing a break before we check in. Have a good rest of your day. Do good things out there. See you soon. So as traders, one of the skills that we want to hone in on is the art of observation. I talk about that in one of the sections in one of our courses. But an example of that in everyday life is last night we had a tornado warning, which was very strange, but a downpour of rain. And now we've got a whole week of pretty much spring of highs in the upper 60s, and that is very unusual as well. But what I like doing is going around the yard, and this is why I like gardening so much, is every single day you're just noticing tiny observations. How are the plants reacting to the weather conditions? How are the plants reacting to different nutrients? How are the plants reacting to different pests? How are the pests reacting to different things? And just watching things as they grow on a daily basis. So after today, I just go around the property in the morning here, because the rain happened last night, and just notice all the little differences. This is a big rut that a bunch of rushing water moved around all these pieces of gravel and dumped them in a pile here. We can see the pond is all muddy from the rushing water, bringing in a whole bunch of soot. And here's the entrance where the water comes in. And you can see a big old bunch of soot there, and there's no water coming in now because this pile of sand right here wasn't here yesterday. And it literally is about 2 feet of sand that I'm gonna have to dig through, because there used to be a little channel right here, and that leads to the pipe, and then that pipe goes into the pond. So a significant amount of sand has been moved overnight. And then I walk down here and I can see this leaf line, and that tells me that this creek overflowed last night and got high enough that this leaf line was the border of the water on this side of the hill. And I can see the other side of the hill with all those leaves got a whole bunch more. And fortunately it subsided, but all of this debris giving us clues as to what has happened.